Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. It's the brother Bayan here to bring you a quick lesson. Prior to get started, I want to give infinite prayers to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem HaKadosh, double honor to the apostles and the elders of GMS who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, you Akam, you Akwat, which is you brothers and sisters in the Hebrew that believe. Shalom to you all. Okay, but just real quick, I just want to hop in. This lesson is going to be based on Second Maccabees chapter 7. All right, and I'm gonna start at the top of it, but it's pretty much going to go into being in the truth, knowing that death is a beautiful thing right now in our captivity. Okay, because obviously we wasn't meant to be here to die. All right, the way that the Lord orchestrated everything, we wasn't put here to die. All right, we was put here to be everlasting peace, everlasting so on and so forth, whatever you want to put to it. Everlasting righteousness is what was supposed to happen. When the Lord put us on His earth. But again, we went off and so on and so forth. Everything that happened, but it just seemed a lot of forgetfulness that brothers and sisters to forget that man, if you die, especially right now, this being the end times, and Salakia, I don't know if I can speak over this. Yeah, Salakia, let that go by real quick. Our people, would have that forgetfulness and ask why did he die, why this and that and the third, why boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, we know that it's the Lord's will, and we know that it's a reason behind it. All right, and they're going to rise again. All right, pretty much that's the story of Israel. All right, the Lord has us in a punishment right now, but again, He still gave us that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that we understand the things that we need to know, and death is definitely one of those things. Okay, but I'm gonna just read through Second Maccabees chapter 7:1. It says, "It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips." All right, but it says, "But one of them that spake first said, Thus what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die rather than transgress the laws of our fathers." All right, we're ready to die than transgress the laws of our fathers, man. All right, so again, at this point in time, telling one of the Maccabee bros, the Maccabees brothers, to eat the swine, and sin against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right, but no, our people, some of our people was on that. They understood. It was like, man, that's madness. Whatever you speaking to me is straight, BS. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, we stand 10 toes. Our people, some of our people stood 10 toes of the dealing with the law of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shad. Okay, but it says again, verse 3, it says, "Then the king, being enraged, commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot, which forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first, and to cut off the utmost parts of his body. The rest of his brethren and his mothers looking on." All right, so again, this is the first brother coming into that wrath of this devil, who's trying to kill him from not obeying him and only obeying the laws of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And he's about to go through a gruesome death. All right, but again, one thing that you got to notice, the qualities that all these Maccabees brothers had, is that they're walking into this death willingly, you know. They're walking into this thing willingly, and knowing that, you know, by me just dying behind this, the Lord is going to have mercy on me in my next, you know, in my next life. You know what I'm saying? The Lord, if you work for Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, there's no way that you could lose, man. All right? If you obey everything to the best of your ability to Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, you can't lose, man. The Lord will not forsake you. All right? I mean, that's what Jake got to understand, man. But it says, verse 5, it says, now when he was maimed in all his members, he commanded him, being yet alive, to be brought to the fire, and to be fried in a pan, as the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed. They exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully, saying thus, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai looketh upon us, and in truth hath comfort in us, as Moses in his song, which witnessed to their faces, declared, saying, and he shall be comforted in his servants. All right, so it says, so when the first was dead after this manner, they brought the second to make him a mocking stock. And when they had pulled off his skin of his head with the hair, they asked him, wilt thou eat before thou be punished throughout every member of thy body? All right, so they already then castrated the brother. All right, they castrated one of the Maccabees bros, and you know, and they're gonna ask a stupid ass question of, like, you know, pretty much, you think you still gonna go through with this? All right, but nah, man, the brothers, the Maccabees bros, they stand 10 toes down, man. They stand 10 toes down to this thing, and they understood again that you know, whatever we go through, man, this is small. All right, no matter the pain that you're going through, because, you know, anybody that's probably watching this video, we don't know how it feels to get our scalp, you know, pulled off, you know, to get our bodily members chopped off, and so on and so forth. We don't know this, but these brothers, they're walking down their death, and letting you know that, man, I'm standing on this because Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai said this. All right, Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai said that we doing these things, doing these things in pretty much embracing this pain that we're going through. All right, it's going to lead to everlasting life. All right, so, you know, brothers is walking into their shit, walking to their deaths, you know, willingly. Okay, but it says, verse 7, so when the first was dead after this manner, they brought the second to make him a mock. I read that, okay. But it says, verse 8, but he answered in his own language. Oh, it's like, I'm going to read it again. 2 Maccabees 7:7. It says, so when the first was dead after this manner, they brought the second to make him a mocking stock. And when they had pulled off the skin of his head with the hair, they asked him, wilt thou eat before thou be punished throughout every member of thy body? But he answered in his own language, the Hebrew, and said, no. Wherefore he also received the next torment in order as the former did. All right, so imagine, man, you get your scalp peeled off and so on and so forth, and just straight wickedness that this devil is doing to you. All right, but, you know, you still standing 10 toes for the Lord, man. That's what the Lord is looking for. All right, the Lord is looking for effort right now. All right, in this grace period that we in right now, you know, not the new covenant, you know, whatever, you know, all these other jakes may say, but we in a grace period right now, and the Lord is looking for effort. All right, so for you to show effort that, man, people are already scalping you and skinning you and so on and so forth, but you still standing 10 toes for the Lord, man, it's a beautiful thing, man, you know. But continuing on, it says, and when he was at the last grasp, he said, thou like a fury takest us out of this present life, but the King of the world shall raise us up, who have died for his laws unto everlasting life. All right. So pretty much, man, you know, which is the point of this whole lesson right here, man. You fight for the Lord gonna fight for you, man. You fight for the Lord is gonna fight for you. All right. You sacrifice your life for the Lord, which the Lord already sacrificed His life for us. You know what I'm saying? You can't lose, man. This is the winning combination. This is the winning recipe for you to put your life down for the Lord. You know, I forget the exact scripture, but roughly paraphrased and tell you that it's no better other thing for you to put your life down for one of your brothers, you know, one of your neighbors. You know what I'm saying? Which the Lord has already done to us. So how much for us to go ahead and try to return that back into the Lord, man? All right. And it also goes to the scriptures to tell you about, you know, those who strive unto death. All right. You strive unto death. That's how you receive the kingdom of Yahweh by Shem Shai, man. And that's only appointed for us, you know. But you know, I'm not gonna hold this anymore. You know, obviously you could hop in 2 Maccabees chapter 7 and you could read through that whole thing, man, and you could get complete examples of, you know, men standing 10 toes for the Lord, you know. And select for the background, I got demons around me, you know what I'm saying? But I pray that this lesson was edifying. Prior to get out of here, I want to give infinite eyes and prayers too. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, you Akim, you Akwad, which is you brothers and sisters in the Hebrew that believe. Shalom.